Please come.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
What's your name?
Aakriti Sethi, sir.
Okay, Miss Aakriti, sit relaxed.
Yes, sir.
And 6 attempts.
Yes, sir.
So, have you been to UPSC earlier also for interview?
No, sir. Sir,
Fir-
first time I cleared
first
the
time.
prelims, the mains.
So,
and
look, congrats, well done.
Thank you, sir.
So, we'll start. Kindly tell us something about yourself.
Sir, I am Aakriti Sethi from Ambala, Haryana. I've done my schooling from Ambala, did my graduation and post-graduation from Delhi University. I've also been a part of KPMG as an audit executive. I've also cleared JRF in economics. My father is a businessman and has a transport profession, and my mother is a homemaker. I like to listen to Punjabi Sufi and folk songs, and I was also a basketball player and a handball player at the state level.
Very nice. So, Ambala, tell us some important facts of Ambala, for which Ambala is well known.
Sir, Ambala is famous for its cantonment city. It has one of the oldest airbase there, and it is also famous for its surgical and scientific equipment industries. It is famous for its cloth market and for good food.
Was it ever bombed by Pakistanis?
Yes, sir.
When was that?
In both in 1965 and 71 wars, it was.
71 war.
Yes.
And where did the bombs fell? Any idea?
Sir, it was on the St. Paul's Church, which is in the Air Force School
On the
complex.
church. The church fell down.
Yes, sir. Only the tower has left, and the church is no more there.
Okay. And what is the demography of Ambala? What is the population of Ambala? And composition community wise, any idea?
Yes, sir. Sir, in Ambala, mostly 80-85% people are Hindus, and rest we have 0.2% of Muslim community, 10-15% of Sikh community is there, and we have a minor proportion of Christians as well. And if we look
What is
at
the total population?
total population, if we consider of the Ambala district, it is around 7 to 8 lakh.
You're not sure how much it's around.
Exactly, I'm not sure. It is
But
around
you
7.
mentioned of the Sufi songs.
Yes, sir.
Now, Sufism originated from where? Do you have an idea?
Yes, sir. Sir, it originated in the Arab countries and through
Which
the
Arab
Arab travelers.
Arab has so many countries. Which country?
So when Sufism came to India, it was
Sorry, which countries it originated?
the
If you don't know, then say I don't know.
I'm sorry, sir. I do not
Okay,
know.
right. So tell me some famous Sufi saints. 4 of them only. 2 from Pakistan, 2 from India.
Sir, Sufi saints in India was Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi, and we have the Ajmer Sharif Dargah, which is called as the Chishti order. I'm sorry, sir, I do not recall the name right now. And we also have Baba Bulle Shah and Baba Farid.
What is the philosophy of Sufi saints?
So they believe in devotion towards God in any form, in any relation which you want. You can build it through music, through chanting, through charity,
In any
compassion.
form, do they also believe in idol worship?
So they do not believe in idol worship.
Then you said any religion in any form. You just said that.
In like the way in which you can build your relation with the God can be through any form, through any medium.
Tell me, what are the main challenges to India, please?
So India in terms of economic challenges or in terms of...
I generally ask you, what are the challenges to India?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the current scenario where we have seen that COVID pandemic has just taken place and Ukraine-Russia conflict has also been there, and global protectionism policies have also been adopted. So we can see in economic terms, India is facing challenges in the
Just give me the points. Don't explain, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a high inflation rate in the economy. We are also facing the uncertainties due to the COVID pandemic. We also have some of the challenges in maintaining unemployment, not maintaining unemployment but curbing unemployment. In the social
Urban unemployment. Okay.
curbing
unemployment.
curbing
Okay.
unemployment.
Right. Okay.
And we also have to be a part of supply chain, so we have to tap that as well.
Okay,
Demographic dividend is
what are
one.
the three main headlines today of the newspaper that you read? Have you read the newspaper?
Sir, I did not read today's
Did
news.
not read the newspaper. Why?
Sir, I did not get time, and newspaper
You
come
were
around
sitting
10,
here, you
10.
could have gone through, no? On
Yes,
your
sir.
mobile phone at least.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Aakriti, you worked in KPMG for 3 years
Yes, sir.
in Gurugram.
Yes, sir.
What does, just expand KPMG?
So KPMG is an auditing firm.
What does KPMG stand for?
Oh, sir, it is a name. It's the name of the partners, Clinwild, Pete, Marwick, and Jodeller. It is very difficult names. It is.
Okay. Where is this firm incorporated?
So its legal headquarters are in London, and its operational functional headquarters are in Netherlands.
Netherlands. So it's a Dutch firm.
So we can say that it is a Dutch firm, but it has a network in 143 countries. So one of the big four firms.
Okay. So Gurugram is a millennium city. Do you think it's also a smart city?
Sir, I believe that it has emerged as a cyber city where many of the
I'm not asking
companies are
cyber
there.
city.
But smart
Is it-
city,
Yeah,
there is
yes.
a time to go towards be a smart city.
Why? What's wrong with Gurugram not being smart?
So we need to develop some of our infrastructure according to the present needs of the population, which
Like
is.
what?
So we do have sectors there, but we do also have the problem of waterlogging during rainy season. We do have traffic issues, and we also need to plan our towns and the other sectors which are coming according to this new technologies and new infrastructure that is coming into place.
Very general answer. Specifics, please. You said traffic and you said, what else did you say?
Waterlogging.
Waterlogging. These are the two issues.
And the other
What
is
else?
pollution and dust issues are too much there.
But these are not specific to Gurugram.
So these are
Something that is
not.
specific to Gurugram.
I think these are specific to Gurugram because I have personally seen during rainy season you take 4 to 5 hours to reach just a distance of 5 kilometers, and traffic is a issue which actually hampers the productivity of the population.
So what can one do to streamline traffic? There's a national highway, 6 lane. You can't have 20 lanes.
But we can use intelligent traffic systems to manage the traffic. We can make a check where the peak on the peak timings where the traffic is actually taking place, why it is taking place, and we can diverge the traffic from different routes. So we can in that way use the smart systems to manage our traffics.
Thank you. You studied in the School of Open Learning,
Yes, sir.
your MCOM.
Yes, sir.
And how was your experience in open learning?
Sir, actually they used to give classes on Saturday, Sunday, but I could not get time to travel to Gurugram, so I just appeared for the examinations and did not take much of the classes.
Oh, is this online classes? Open learning is online, are the same,
So, no, they have offline classes at the School of Open Learning Center,
but not online.
not online, sir.
Which is better in your opinion? Twice a week offline or online?
Sir, I think they should be provided in both the mediums. If the students are not able to commute to Delhi, the center, then they should take online classes. Otherwise, offline has its own advantages. We can communicate with the teacher, we can get our doubts cleared, and
But you didn't do that.
I did not do that.
Why
yes,
not?
sir. So because I was living in Gurugram, and sometimes we used to have extended hours of office, and also traveling from Gurugram to North Campus was a difficult task. So I only appeared for the examinations.
Okay. But you got a first class.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, which of these two are greater challenges, inflation or growth?
Sir, if you look at the present scenario, I think inflation is a more challenge, but we need to balance both. We need growth as well as we need to tackle inflation as
Inflation
well.
is moderated.
Inflation has moderated, but it has been said by many of the economists and the RBI governor as well that we cannot keep calm because due to the global uncertainties, inflation can peak further if the COVID is not undertaken and if the issues like war is not resolved, then it can again take place. So we need to consider inflation at
So
a
inflation is a bigger challenge.
if we compare both, then growth is moderated, but inflation is not yet moderated. So we can say that it is a bigger challenge, but we cannot choose one among both. We should focus on both growth, as increasing growth and
Tell me, if inflation goes on, even at the moderate level, how will it impact growth?
so there is an sometimes when inflation is too much high, it makes our exports uncompetitive, and we have seen that our current account deficit has also increased, and that is because of both the reasons, inflation here and also because our currency has been such that our current account deficit has increased. So inflation and growth sometimes are, when too much of inflation is there, it impacts and hampers the growth as well.
Thank you.
Ms. Aakriti Sethi,
Yes, sir.
you would have been following developments relating to India's G20 presidency.
Yes, sir.
Now, the IMF chief had said that India's presidency will leave a stamp on history. What do you think India should do to live up to these expectations?
Sir, the first and the foremost important global scenario is the Russia-Ukraine war. So if we can contribute in having peace at the table and dialogue negotiations between both the countries, that will be a remarkable achievement for India. And as we have just proved that the Global South Summit has been organized, and if we be the voice of the Global South nations, then it can make our world more inclusive and equitable for all.
You said that India as G20 president could bring about peace in the Russia-Ukraine war. What sort of a solution is possible?
So the solution that I see is only the dialogue and diplomacy, because Russia is a good partner of India and has given recognition that India's opinion matters for Russia as well. So we can be a mediator to
Correct,
that
but
peace.
some settlement has to be worked out in terms of a peace deal, as you yourself said. What settlement is possible? Do you think Russia will vacate the eastern provinces which it has annexed? Do you think Russia will give up Crimea which it has annexed? What is your opinion?
Sir, I don't think that Russia will give up on any of the states.
And will Ukraine and its supporters, the United States and West European countries, agree to a settlement which leaves the Crimea and eastern Ukraine in Russian hands? Will they agree?
I think, sir, both of the countries will not agree
So
to
where
the
is the settlement
negotiation.
possible, Aakriti? How
Yes,
do
sir.
we settle when Russia will not give up eastern Ukraine and Crimea, and the other side will insist that it first vacates before talks are to be held? Where is the possibility of talks? What is your opinion?
So, though I believe that Russia will not vacate these provinces very easily, but we can build a consensus and pressure on Russia to actually determine this and recognize the sovereignty of each nations. And because this is not the era of war, so we should bring
True,
Russia on
but
the
Russia
table.
says that eastern Ukraine consists of Russian-speaking people who are being oppressed, so they belong to Russia. And it says over Crimea, Russia has had a historical sovereignty, so it belongs to Russia. How do you persuade Russia? My fear is that the war will keep going on. Do you agree with that?
So, till the time both the countries do not come to a solution, it will go on, because it is a never-ending solution, never-ending some problem, because countries have to think that what is the priority at today's time, and we should not.
Aakriti, do you think that Russia will use nuclear weapons? What is your view? There are fears. Russia has said it could escalate. What is your view?
Sir, I don't think that Russia will use the nuclear weapons because it can escalate into too much of pressure from other countries.
Well, I hope you're right. Now, we were talking about G20 presidency. What is the significance of the G20 Troika?
Sir, Troika signifies that the country which has already held the presidency of G20, the current president and the future president, and all the three countries at this time, Indonesia, India and Brazil, all the three are developing countries, and shows that now the time has come for the developing countries to be a major partner in the world. So this signifies a major change.
Right. Let's look at our neighbor Pakistan. Yesterday, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Shehbaz Sharif, said that it is shameful for a nuclear power to beg. How do you interpret this statement, and to what extent do you endorse his views?
Sir, though I have not read that statement and I am not aware of this, but I am sure that
He said this. He said it's shameful for a nuclear power to beg.
so this is because of the ideology on which the Pakistan is working, and we have seen that it has sponsored state terrorism at some point of time. So
True,
we should
but
not.
hold on. You're an economics student. He said this in the context of Pakistan's economic troubles. What are the factors which have brought these economic troubles on Pakistan?
So the first and the foremost is the political conflict which continues to go between the elected representatives and the army in Pakistan. The second is the heavy debt which the China has built on Pakistan, and the economy has not generated too much of employment for the Pakistani people, and also because of its dependence on fuel imports and etc. That has led to Pakistan, which is my general knowledge
All right.
says.
Now let me just get a few questions straightened out regarding your DAF. You said that you were a national level participant in handball.
Yes, sir.
At what level?
So we played the CBSE national level
Then you
championship.
played basketball at state level and you were the captain of the under 19 basketball team of what? Of your state?
Of my school, sir.
Of your school?
Yes,
under
sir.
19. Now do you still play these sports?
I do not play.
Do
no.
you play any sport?
Yes, sir. Sometimes I do play badminton, but not too
Because
frequently.
it's not mentioned in your list of extracurricular activities.
Yes,
Because
sir.
a sportsman like you should never give up sport, isn't it? Tell me, last question.
Yes, sir.
What are the reasons why India has not done well at the international level in basketball?
So the most important issue that our basketball players face is the use of the indoor courts, wooden courts, which are not available during the practice sessions. These are only available when they go to any national camp or an international camp. So practicing on that floor is very important because it builds your stamina and strength according to that floor. So infrastructure sometimes is a issue. Also, the recognition that a sport gets, and basketball. People play basketball in India, but too much of recognition is not given to basketball, which sometimes leads to less of the infrastructure, coaching available.
Let me tell you, I
and
spoke to
support.
one basketball player in the United States. He said Indians will not do well because they are not tall enough. He said, look at us, we put the ball like this, you people are not tall, so you will not go that far. What is your view?
Sir, I do not consider that because China being one of the countries with
The Chinese players are very tall. The tallest player in the National Basketball League is a Chinese player.
But the average height of the Chinese is not that tall, and they are doing very well in basketball. So height sometimes is an issue because we have seen all of the players are very tall heighted, but skills matter a lot, and the kind of practice you get while playing also matters. And in USA we see that they do organize daily tournaments, NBA league is there, so quality of competitors comes when we have too much of competition.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Aakriti,
Yes, sir.
you come from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
Say something about the culture of Haryana.
or rather describe, not something, describe the culture of Haryana.
Sir, Haryana is a very vibrant state. The people here use the language which sometimes is said to be very rude, but the people here are down to earth. We see lush green paddy fields all around. We see, if we enter any of the village, we see the chopals at any of the nook and corner. Women are seen wearing veil and not given too much of prominence in public places. And also, economic terms, Haryana is also doing very good. We have too much of fairs and festivals organized in Haryana, so it is a very colorful state.
Now we have this Global South virtual meet was there. That is one side of it, and other side is we have now not only in India but in many of the countries there is a resurgence of nationalism, majoritarianism, barriers to trade. Whether these two things, nationalism, majoritarianism on the one side and this Global South conclave, do they go together?
So can I ask you to please repeat the question on what my...
One side is the Global South convention we had just recently, virtual convention Prime Minister addressed.
Yes, sir.
Where we look for the aggregation of the interest of the South developing countries, and India can lead that in G20 before the developed world. On the other hand, we are too much in the nationalism upsurge and majoritarianism in our country, and not only our country. There it is the phenomena which happens in Russia as well as US, Trump US, and all those places. Maybe Italy, maybe not Italy, but the other one, Turkey. So how do you think that? How do you reconcile these two things? Opposing forces.
Sir, I do not believe that majoritarianism is the correct word to use here. We can say that India is moving towards protection, some of the protectionism, like India's self-interest.
Protectionism when you talk in economic terms, but
Yes, sir.
majoritarianism you talk in the social and political terms.
Yes, sir. So we have seen that India is a democratic country and people of the will survives here. So majoritarianism is definitely not the right term
Nationalism.
to say. But nationalism somehow persists. We have seen through many of the initiatives. But India has proven
But it
that...
is compatible with this kind of initiative which we have taken, Global South and
Sir,
nationalism.
I think the organization of the event has itself proved that India's commitment towards Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam is rooted in our philosophy and in our actions through this virtual meet that has happened.
NAM was there in non-aligned movement, and G77 also had been there. What happened to them? Is this not an attempt similar to that?
So in 1970s, G77 was there to promote the voice of the developing countries. And at that time, that was important. And with time, it has though faded out. But yes, it is similar to that nation. But in the current scenario where we are technologically developing and we have some of the very good technologies in different arenas, we can now give a more better support to the developing nations.
What technology can do in this? It is a matter of trust.
Yes, sir.
And it is a matter of unity.
Yes, sir.
How long they will be united? These countries which have come for this in the name of developing countries. They have past experience shows it is something like it shows the experiment of the alliance governments in India. They come together, different parties, they dissipate. Similarly here also countries come together and then they go away.
Sir, I think it is because of the change in the world order. After 1970s, we see that in 1990s, the world order changed from a bipolar world to a multipolar world. And in current scenario, multipolar world is
One minute.
Yes,
there
sir.
is a grave danger of now bipolar. On the one side, the US and Europe, on the other side, the Russia and China. They are ganging up. And if this signs of that multipolar are not there.
So we do have dangers, but if India goes on its commitment towards these world and
Still, you feel that it is worthwhile to
Yes,
have this
sir.
kind of dialogue.
Yes, sir, I do
Okay.
believe that.
You have this teaching hobby of teaching.
Yes, sir.
Now, recently, there has been something like ChatGPT, a software, AI software, which in fact has a lot to do with the teaching. How the teaching will be affected, education will be affected in this sense by this kind of AI.
I am sorry, sir, I have not followed that news too much.
Okay. When on the road, when there is a breakdown, we call it accident. But when the breakdown in the air, that is aeroplane, we call it crash. Why it is so? And what does it connotes? They don't call it there was accident in the air. Even if it hit the mountain, it crashed.
Sir, I do not have that technological mindset to answer this question, but the only general thing that comes to my mind is because I think because of the different places where they are, because the airplane falls, and that is why I think it is said as crashed. From the height,
every crash
falls
is
down.
investigated very thoroughly. Inquiry is set up, and whereas in road accident there is nothing, no inquiry, nothing. Why it has happened?
Sir, because it carries a greater risk when we are flying in the air, and an investigation has to
No,
be
here
carried
bus,
out.
a whole bus falls down in the valley. Anyhow, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ms. Aakriti. Our
Thank you, sir.
discussion with you